So Odell, he got injured. He's out for the year. It's a sad injury. I'm not gonna lie. I would love Odell to still be playing, but my outlook on the Browns now, they're with Odell, they were a playoff team, probably first round, second round exit team. Without Odell, they're a playoff team, first or second round exit team. I think the Browns are better without Odell Beckham than with him. And the reason I say that is when you look at Odell Beckham, you're like, oh, he's a superstar receiver. They're obviously better with him than without him, but that's not true. Look at these numbers right here. These are Baker's stats when targeting Odell Beckham. 54 completion percentage, 7 yards per attempt, and 73.6 QBR. Baker is an average to pretty bad quarterback when he's targeting Odell. What about when he's targeting any other wide receiver? 78.6% accurate. So about 20% more accurate when he's not targeting Odell. 10.6 yards per attempt and a 96.2 quarterback rating. So he's a good to great quarterback when not targeting Odell Beckham. And he had 5 touchdowns yesterday. You want to know where all those 5 touchdowns came from? After Odell exited the game. And I'm not the person I'm not gonna talk about because a lot of people want to talk about Odell being like a culture guy and stuff. I don't care about none of that. I just care about on the field, how they produce with and without him. And Baker is better without Odell. And the reason because of that is because Odell is a high status player. You have to target him. Even if the play is not for him, you're looking for him first. You're not letting the play progress how it's supposed to progress. So when he's there, Baker's force-feeding him the ball. Versus when he's not there, we're seeing more flashes of Baker's rookie year. And we saw it yesterday. 5 touchdowns. He hasn't had that. He hasn't had a game like that since his rookie year.
And I think you kind of hit on the point there. I'm going to take it in a little bit of a different direction. I think that Odell is one of those guys, I think he's a superstar wide receiver, even though he might not have shown that in Cleveland so far. I still think he's a superstar receiver. And those type of guys are the type of guys that when plays break down, they're the one you look for. And I think that results in bad throws going his way more often than other players on the team that won't be looked at as much in that situation. It's almost like Odell is a bailout plan for you because he can make ridiculous plays. There's a better chance of him making a ridiculous play than another receiver.
I get that, but he hasn't been a bailout for Baker. And
their offense has never gotten on the same page since Odell came there, though.
Both of them have never gotten on the same page.
And I think that when Odell is not on the field, I feel like they rely more heavily on the rushing attack and play off of that.
I don't even think that because when he was there, they were running the ball a lot. It's just when you start to pass the ball, you're eyeing Odell. Baker finished the game with 21 straight completions. It should have been 22, 23 straight completions, but on his 22nd pass attempt within that stretch, it was a spike. So he realistically completed the ball 22 straight times.
That's a problem for Baker Mayfield, though, because if you can't throw to star wide receivers, then what are you going to do?
I don't think so because I think there's a difference between an Odell star wide receiver and a Julio Jones star wide receiver. They have different profiles to them. Julio's probably not going to complain about getting the ball. He's not going to be, constantly tapping your shoulder. Odell, we've seen it before where he throws temper tantrums on the sideline and he's, going out. We've seen it with the Giants when he literally bashed Eli Manning and went on a whole media tour talking about how he wants to get out of New York and talking about how he wants to play with another quarterback because he wasn't getting targeted.
But in New York, when he was targeted earlier in his career, look at the numbers that he put up. The offense was totally different with him, and then when he left.
But would you rather want a receiver to get numbers or would you rather win?
Well, them not winning was not because of Odell. It had nothing to do with Odell.
The chemistry kind of got ruined because of him in that stretch. That's why they had to trade him.
That is not the reason they were losing games, though.
No, they weren't a great team, and Eli, they probably should have moved on from him a year earlier than they did, but Odell didn't make the situation better.
No, he didn't make the situation better.
Do you think a DeAndre Hopkins would have did that? Would have went on that media tour? Do you think a Julio Jones would have did that?
No, probably not. But I just think that he gets a lot more of the blame in that New York situation than he deserves. It reminds me, honestly, of the Kyrie Irving situation in Boston, where I personally think that he gets all of the blame when he doesn't deserve it. You look at the Giants. You look at the Giants and look at what happened to them after he left. They have done a bad job drafting.
No,
they
I totally understand.
Gotten worse every year since he's left.
But I don't think that. I'm not saying that he was the reason they were losing, but their chemistry definitely took a hit because he went on that media tour, and he kind of had to be on his best behavior in Cleveland. But even with the numbers are showing you that the connection is not working. And is it Odell? Is it Baker? I don't know.
I just don't think that they work together. And I think that whole offense was kind of like bringing in as much talent as possible and everything else be damned. And it just hasn't worked out.
I just think that the numbers show that Baker's better without him.
On top of that,
but not targeting him at least.
He had Freddie Kitchens, a rookie head coach, and now Kevin Stefanski, a rookie head coach.
No, yeah. That's why the past season that happened with Freddie Kitchens, I kind of put an asterisk next to it. I don't take it too seriously because Freddie Kitchens was a bad coach. But this year with Kevin Stefanski, I think he's a really brilliant offensive mind.
No, I really like Stefanski, but I'm saying more as a rookie head coach. You're not as well equipped to deal with situations like that as a veteran head coach, because we were talking about the Bucs before. Bruce Arians, bringing in a guy like Antonio Brown, is much more well-versed to handle a situation like that than a rookie head coach would be. And I feel like it's tough. There's been no continuity, so it's kind of like every year now the culture has reset.
Yeah, but it's not even about the continuity thing. It's about your quarterback not meshing well with that receiver. And he's literally eyeing him down and making bad throws to try to force feed him the ball.
I didn't think that it was a good move for the Browns last year, and I thought that they should have gotten rid of him this year because, like you mentioned, they just don't have that connection. And I don't think that the blame should be placed on either one of them. I just think that they have not worked out, and that happens in sports.
No, yeah, I don't think the blame goes on somebody, but I also think that him being injured, I hope that he recovers. I'm not trying to talk down on him, but him being injured, it does not matter to the Browns' success. Their ceiling is as high with him as it is without him.
Well, the thing that really concerns me about the Browns, and it's been the biggest question mark, it was the biggest question mark last year, it's been the biggest question mark this year, what is Baker Mayfield? And we've seen moments of brilliance from him, and we've seen moments where it just looks like he has no idea what he's doing.
I still believe in Baker Mayfield.
I still do too. I just want to see him have those spectacular moments a little more consistently, and have his lows.
And he had it yesterday.
Much less low. He
without
definitely
Odell.
did. He definitely did. There's no question about it. But can he do that over? Not even that, because that was a tremendous performance. But can he be good over the span of a season? We have not seen him put it together for 16 games yet, and that's what I want to see out of him.
I think this year we'll see it. I still have the Browns making the playoffs. They're in a perfect position too. They're 5-2, and I think from here on out we're probably gonna see them be better and Baker be a better quarterback, and we're gonna have to start having a conversation. That conversation is gonna start being louder and louder. Whether Odell should be shipped out because Baker doesn't work that well with him.
The conversation was already very loud, and now if they start winning without him, you're right, it will get louder.